I'm here. Yes, it's me. Now, some of you may be wondering exactly why I'm here. What's the point of me chatting it up? What's the point of me doing this? What's the purpose? I think Cyril said it best about what is your purpose? What is your purpose being here? What's the point? Why are you going to do what you're planning to do or anything of that sort? Well, understand something here. It took me quite a lot to get to this step, to this point of my life so far. At this current juncture of my 25 years of living, I am now feeling a sense of relief, a sense of understanding, and understanding that a lot of people take a while to reach. And that's the key of understanding. A lot of people think, or do they? I mean, 2020 has shown so far, in my opinion, of course, that a lot of people have lost the ability to actually think, to actually understand and put their ideas to the forefront. Thinking is now the past, and doing, just doing, following, running, jumping, leaping, I guess being in fear is the new thing. Well, look here. That's not me. Not anymore. Not anymore. Am I a professed braveheart? No. I'm human just like you who's listening right now. I'm human just like these celebrities who are the influencers of this generation. But I am human. That is one thing that we all have in common on this planet. We are all human beings. Now, it is February 2021. Many, many, many moons ago. It feels like 2 years, doesn't it? We hit a harsh roadblock, an obstacle, something that seems like we can't get over for some reason. And that fateful day in March, I remember like it was not yesterday. I was just having a toast to a couple of my peers, a couple of my friends in a bar. It was Tim's birthday. Well, Tim, if you're listening, it was your birthday, wasn't it? Don't kill me about it. It's a long time, I know. It was a birthday celebration, and we had all of the students, all of the CUNY students come through, mostly from an adventure in Albany, or really to fight for the right for free CUNY. And it was just a celebration. I was leaving the train station, I got to the bar, I met all my peeps, we had a toast, we chatted up, and we all separated, left, everything was fine. Next day, we're hearing murmurs, a lot of murmurs about, do you hear about coronavirus? Corona's here. Somebody got sick. Oh my God, call help. And then I'm saying to myself, this is funny. Never thinking anything about it, really. And then, I was in a class. We were doing something major out here. And then all of a sudden, one of the professors came to me and said, hey, did you hear? So I said, hear what? Did you hear that they're gonna close all the schools? I said, really? Well, little did he know that I knew that about 10 minutes before. 10 minutes before. And trust me, it was something, I guess it's not unprecedented, but this was about a disease spreading, right? Across the world. Something so dangerous that you have to hide. You have to make sure that it doesn't attack you. I saw on Twitter from Mr. I like to call him Mr. Dictator, but I'm sure he knows who he is. From Twitter himself, the man stated that CUNY's closed, SUNY's closed, until further notice. Well, I know that all the students in my class at that time were happy as hell. Very happy. But they were also looking as if something was eerily wrong. Eerily wrong in this actual action that has taken place from our esteemed dictator. So, I am sure a lot of people were talking to other friends in that time, and a lot of students were talking to other students about this. I was getting calls from my on my phone about this, and I said, "Yeah, this is crazy, but hopefully we get back to school." I don't really know. Also, at that time, I was vice president of student government. I was very tired, very stressed out, burnt to a crisp, not literally, just figuratively ran out of gas. Ran out of gas. And was this needed? Sure. But understand, you don't know how much really this was needed. Uh, but that day, never thought that would be really the last day I saw most of my friends together, all in one group, as a team, as people that we chat to, as people that I would call my esteemed ladies and gentlemen and everybody else. Go to the gym next day because college is closed, right? Everything is shutting down for certain reasons, and then next thing you know, in about a week or two, nobody's going back to class anymore because what was it? 2 weeks to slow the spread or 3 weeks? Something like that. It's come on now. Give me a break. It's now February 2021. Give me a break, okay? And on top of that, I thought to myself, well, I guess we're gonna be back soon enough because this should be over, right? Slap my knee and call me Sally. Not happening. Nope. No, 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 no. Of course not. It wasn't over. It was never over. Ever. Mm-mm. This time, we were to slow the spread for the next 10. Is it 10 months? For anybody who's listening, let me know in the comments if you're going to let me know. But I feel like it's been a year. It's almost a year now. Actually, it's 11 months now, isn't it? Because March is next month. Yeah, it's going to be nearly a year to slow the spread. Rewind to March, April again. Incoming lockdowns. People are in misery. They don't know what to do. The TV's showing them every single day. And I mean, you want to talk about every day something is on? Every single day. Something's on the TV about somebody dying today, or somebody getting sick today, or something dealing with a lockdown and people can't go outside, people can't do this, people can't do that. So naturally, if we have our psychologists who are probably listening, when people see something on TV and it's a fear-based situation, generally speaking, people go into panic. People go into the mode of panic and they go into survival mode. Survival mode, basically, you, a human being, the only time you're in survival mode is honestly if you are in a life or death situation or you want to get out of a situation that you think in your heart and head is not going to work out to be something good in the end. So, you get nervous, Your heart starts to race a bit. You don't think too clearly. There are a good amount of irrational thoughts because your plan is to survive. Your plan is not to just think this way through. Your plan is to survive. So you will do anything to survive. At this time, I was at home, just like everybody else, because where were we going? Everything was closed. I mean, everything was closed. It was a ghost town. The people who did go out, just like me, it was honestly eerie. You would have never seen a place like New York City so empty. New York City is filled with so many people, you can't even count them, even if you matched it with a bag of rice. There's so many people. There's so many people in New York City. We're not talking about New York, the state. We just talk about New York City in general. That's the main hub. Come on now. New York City is the top hub for everything nice. Everything glitz, glamour. Everything you want in a melting pot, a bowl of soup, that is New York City. And New York City was quiet. You walk down a lot of blocks were empty, and you just felt alone. I know I did. I felt really alone. Not to say in a bad way of how you might portray it or how you might assume how I'm saying this is bad, but that's not normal. Obviously, it's not normal to not see your friends and not to be able to interact with people because the mode was don't touch, sanitize your hands, do this, do that, do the third. This is where it comes into play about what it really means to be free. Be free in a state where maybe you don't think freedom is an option. As I said, if you listen back, I was vice president. As I said, I was tired. I ran out of gas. I was just burnt out. And that time where everything was shut down, even though everything was eerie and quiet and everybody didn't really know what to do, there was still school going on online. And at that time, I still had duties, but honestly speaking, everything was really completed. There was nothing else left to do other than just give morale boosts, which was definitely needed in this time of crisis, of course, because again, everybody's in survival mode. They don't know what to do. They keep watching fear porn every day. It is what it is, right? So, what does the mighty Sherrard do? What does he do? What does he do? The S on his chest, Superman, what does he do? He disappears. Yes, I, Sherrard Quao, disappeared from my duty. I did. I really did. Now, was that a great decision? Hell no. Should somebody do that if they were in my position? I wouldn't advise you to do so. But was it needed? Hell yes. Do you know why it was needed? It was needed for many reasons. Reasons that I've stated before, and now new reasons that I'm about to state right now. My reasons that I disappeared were because I had a multitude of issues going on. And to keep up with everything would have, to keep up while still being a VP would have just ran me to the ground. I was already gone at that point, but ran to the ground, it's like you're just grinding dirt. There's nothing that you're gonna get from it. So, in order to refresh myself, in order to unplug and start fresh, I had to go. I had to leave. There was no choice. In my head, there was no choice in the matter. There was no choice. Did it rub some people the wrong way? I don't know. Maybe not, or maybe so. I have explained to some people the reason why I did leave, but looking back all the way now, from here to March, from before, that was probably the best decision I have made. And trust me, a lot of people probably made this decision during this time. It was like an unplug moment. You had to unplug. There was no choice, as I said. And when I worked on myself during April, May, June, July, it was a quest to finally ascend to who I really was supposed to be, to who I am currently. And there's still room for improvement all the time. I'm only 25 years old, but it doesn't mean that I'm not happy where I'm at right now, that I am not content from where I'm at or where I was before to where I am now. I was overweight. Of course, people who saw me, they would not think so, but 165 at a certain height is not great. I looked at the scale and I said, oof. I said, oh no. Oh no, 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 sir. You can't be that big. Walking like the ground is just shaking out here. I was on a mission. I was on a mission to become the best version of myself. And before March, probably even going back into 2017, I had spurts of being a great version of myself, a fantastic version of myself. But was I the best version of myself? No, I wasn't. I was not. Understanding that, we have to look at this and try to think of the question of what does it really mean to be the best version of yourself? What does it really mean to be free? What does being free mean? And people can answer that question in a multitude of reasons, a multitude of answers, really. I'm going to give you my opinion of what does it mean to be free because it could change from person to person. But I just want you to understand that being free comes with sacrifices. Sacrifices that you don't think you would make until you see what you have left behind. Being free, understandably so. I don't even think it's a code. I think it's a way of life because people could say they're free, but do you really know what it is? What is real freedom? Do you think the celebrities know what real freedom is? Because if you look at their pages, maybe somebody feels like they're free. I'm sure of it. Probably so. Probably they think what they're doing right now is freedom. And hey, if that is the case, great for them. Kudos to them. I'm talking about my people who haven't reached that status yet. Right here with me in the trenches. What does it mean to be free out here in New York City, not knowing what is next? What does it mean? I say, being free, it is being able to suppress all your fears, look at yourself, look at the world, and say, I am unapologetic, and I'm not gonna abide by what you say if you think I am not who you want me to be. What does that mean? That means me. I'm unapologetic at this moment of time. I do not care what people think anymore. I don't give a damn if you think I'm a little bit off key, a little bit, or not in the lines of where you think I should be. A little bit radical in the definition of radical. I think people think radical is going crazy. It could be. But what is radical, really? Is it what you hear on TV when they talk about Trump all day? Or is it something that you need to actually figure out for yourself? It's going to certain places where they tell you don't go and you do it anyway, and you come back and you're still unapologetic because you are free. Do you know what freedom really is? Do you? I do. I do. I do know what freedom really is at this current point of my life. And I'm glad that I'm living it right now. Do we all have total freedom at this time where we're at, 11 months into the pandemonium, as I'm going to call it? No. Oh, no. We're still shackled. We're still shackled by our thoughts, our fears, the TV, everything that you're looking at right now. And trust me, I am not your savior. I don't plan to be your savior. I just plan to be a person who's going to give you the best possible advice I could give you and hope that maybe I've enlightened a few people. If not, it's okay. There's always next time. And if there's not always next time, you can just pass on by and keep on going. But freedom is essential in unlocking who you are as a person. Without that freedom, you don't really know who you are. You might be living a shell of your actual self. And back then, when I was in student government, back then, even before student government, I was living a shell of my former self, or a shell of who I shouldn't really be, per se. As I said already, there were spurts, but it wasn't something that I truly could say, looking back, was really me. I was probably a scared little boy at that time. And this exterior, for people who know me, you would probably be like, nah, that's weird. But inside, I was just honestly a scared little boy. I didn't want to get in trouble. I didn't feel like towing the party line because I just wanted to do what's best for business. Now, I'm doing what's best for me. That is freedom. Currently, for me right now. I'm doing what's best for me. I'm doing what's best for my livelihood. If you cannot, or you feel like you can't explore that freedom, well, you still have time. Everybody has time on this planet. I don't want to get too philosophical here, but is there really time? Isn't that a construct or something? How do you really know what time is? But I did just say there's time, right? So, understanding how I felt and what I thought meant, or I should say, means to me what freedom is, I'm going to read something that I wrote literally. I think if I'm checking right now, in April. Um, Let me actually see what it is right now. Oh, uh-oh. Can't find it. Isn't that so weird? When you're now looking for some peace, I'm being unorganized. This is crazy. Come on, Sherrard. Sherrard, you can't be unorganized. Ugh. Wow. Look at me, guys. I can't even find a piece of damn essay that I wrote. Oh, man. You know what freedom really is, too? The freedom where you think you made a mistake in this audio and you're still not going to delete it. That's how you know freedom is really serious for me. Well, since I can't find it right now, I just want to say a few things before I end off. So, let's think about it for a second. For the past 11 months, this world has been terrorized, pushed into no return, and people feel as if there might not be light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not going to say the word because if I do, I might get flagged. Whatever platform I put this on might just flag it. That's the suppression from the freedom. I'm not going to say the word, but currently they're administering it. And I think people feel like that's freedom now. Now we're going to be free. Look at it this way. Well, you were waiting for so long for something to give you a piece of freedom instead of taking it for yourself. Just think about it. Just think about it. You waited so long for something to be administered to think that you are free. Why is that? Why is that the case? And this is the discussion that I really am putting forth to all of you listeners right now. I describe what my freedom meant to me. But what does freedom really mean to you? Honestly, a better question is, do you want to be free? Now, if the answer is yes, define it. If the answer is no, you're being honest. A lot of people won't say no. They'll say yes. They'll say, yes, I want to be free. But when they look back at everything they have done throughout the past 11 months, and I'm not saying everybody has. Trust me, there are people in my position right now, some people probably even better than me, who are exploring and showing what freedom really is. But if you answer yes to the question of, are you free? And I did ask, what is the answer? You can give me the answer. It's fine. You might give yourself the answer. But can you look in the mirror and really look at yourself and say you are free while you were waiting so long for somebody to swoop and save you and be your savior? I started throughout this discussion telling you I'm not your savior and I don't want to be your savior. I'm not planning to be your savior. I'm not here trying to hover and be the hope for all the masses. I'm just a human being just like you. But if my advice gives you some type of hope, that's great. And if you feel like it doesn't, then it's okay. We can always move forward in the game we call life. That's freedom. Knowing that people are going to make their choices whether you like it or not. There's always two sides. If there's only one side, you're never going to get your fill. You're always going to get something that's holding you back. And that's my opinion, of course. If you get one side, you're never going to get your fill. Again, look back at the past 11 months. What side have you gotten so far? What have you gotten? I look to what I've seen and I compare it to what I have done so far. And I feel happier than ever. I feel so happy. I could move to California. Ha! Psych. Nah. I feel so happy I could go to Florida in the state that they claim was crazy and come back just as fine as ever. Do you know what freedom really is? Honestly, do you really know? Now, I'm not going to get into a debate of freedom versus safety because that's not really what this is about. This is about exploring your inner peace, understanding who you really are as a person, opening your eyes to really see what that light that you're looking at the end of the tunnel is all about. There's always ways to be safe. And what's the saying? It's better to be safe than sorry. Okay, I understand that. But is that the only thing that's going to be told every time something happens? Because now you're just telling me one side of the story. Can I flip it a little bit and say it's better to be sorry than safe? It's better to know that I failed and I could do it or improve on what I failed on rather than not trying something new to even fail at and then realizing, wow, I haven't even explored that other option because I just wanted to be safe. Think about it. Think about it real good because it's something that a lot of people might not have thought about. 2020 was full of people, in my opinion, who lost the ability to think, lost the ability to critique or criticize or even critically think about something so that they can understand what is at stake, what is in front of you, and what's the purpose. Not even looking back towards the past, they're looking at the moment and saying, man, I need to survive. There are times where you need to survive, of course. But are you surviving to be safe? Or are you going to actually try to survive in your pursuit of freedom? I feel free right now. Will I be free later? Maybe. Maybe not. But I want to continue this freedom tour, and I don't want it to stop. I don't. I don't think it will stop. I don't want it to ever stop because this is something that you will never let go. Once you have it, once you get that ring at the top of that ladder, that brass ring, and you hold it, your goal now is to defend it. When you get that championship, your goal is not to just keep it and retire. Somebody else is going to come for the championship. Your goal is to keep it and defend it until somebody rips it from you, from your own hands. Do you really want someone to rip that championship, that thing that you worked for so hard, from you? I'll leave that question for you to answer and for you to decide. It took me 3, 4 months to understand who I really am. And ever since I did that, I have done things that I've never done before. And I still would like to do things that I've never done before. I'm here just giving you my 2 cents on learning how to fly like a bird. Everybody can't reach the mountaintop. The air gets thick when you reach the top. If you can survive, then you know what it's like to be at the top. And you will never want to roll back down to the bottom. You wouldn't. So, what is freedom to you?